boy, my longtime friend and collaborative critic, Cassowary Lagoon, has asked me to do a video on what it would mean to metaphorically be Adolf Hitler. Adolf Hitler. It's like Beedolf, but Adolf, yeah. So, one thing that I think about constantly is that every day I'm always getting angry at something. Every day. Like, you will not find a scenario in which I have not been angry at something for 24 hours. I get angry at everything. You know, or not everything. I don't get angry at everything. I get angry every day. It's one of my favorite pastimes. Whenever I get angry, for example, I make a video talking about what makes me angry. And sometimes those videos get me views. Sometimes they don't. But the great thing is that I can just keep getting angry and these videos keep coming out. Much like today. Now, the thing that I got angry about yesterday was the fact that people do not say the things that they want to say. And then other people laugh at people for not understanding that. If you were to say, go on a social media website, let's say Instagram. Let's say you go on Instagram and you put a video or you put like a post up, and then you say underneath that post certain things that seem very outlandish. Some people will believe what you say down there and take that your word is bond, and that you're going to continue to perpetuate the ideals that you have expressed in the bottom of your Instagram post. And what people don't seem to understand is that whenever you say words, they have consequences. Is that they have ramifications, that people will take those words and continue to perpetuate them. They will be like, okay, this person who I respect, and who I really like and understand within this social media sphere that I follow, I'm going to take their word and I'm going to go and do things with it. And this is a problem, because some people on Instagram, this is on Instagram, not Twitter, some people on Instagram think that it's funny to intentionally say things that they don't mean. They'll get on and they'll be having an entirely normal one, whenever they're very much not having a normal everyday day. Whenever President Donald Trump, God bless his soul, says something outlandish or that they think is outlandish, they'll be like, wow, totally normal president here, XD, hoo-ha. Whenever they don't mean that. And it just makes me very angry. I really hate it whenever people do that. Because you look at these fucking liberals and they're like, okay, look at this president, he's doing something stupid. And it just makes it worse. Because you're saying things that you don't mean and perpetuating a false narrative. False narratives suck, okay? So this is why I would be Adolf Hitler. This is why I would imitate, metaphorically, the man on Twitter by just killing everybody who says this. I think that's the right plan. We should just block everybody who says something like this, because unless we get rid of irony Twitter, that's what it's called. They call themselves irony bros. If that wasn't misogynistic enough, they're just going, they're not stupid and dumb enough to support Bernie fucking Sanders. They're already going to be like, I'm an irony bro. What about the girls? Are they bros? What about those who are gender non-conforming? Are they bros? No. It's misogynistic, it's sexist, and it's horrible. So you've already got that. Their organization is already in shambles. He says as he takes another bite of sesame seed bagel. Their organization is already in shambles because it's sexist and misogynistic. So their base is already flawed. And then they're going to go out and attack people who just are trying to have a good time. These people who post things with an XD at the end. You know, saying XD in your posts used to be cool. That's what all the cool kids used to do. Now, if you do it, you're made fun of. You're ridiculed like you're some sort of comedic neophyte. And it's dumb. They use the term golden retriever brain. What the hell does that even mean, to be a golden retriever brain? All dogs have the same brain. All dogs are like follower. Why is it golden retriever? Is it because they look happy? Are we making fun of people for wanting to be happy? For looking happy? Is that it? Is that what we're trying to do here? I really hope not, because if that's the case, then that makes me even angrier. I didn't think of that. Like, I sat down to make this video. I have a very strict course of action in mind. I was just going to explain what it means to metaphorically be Adolf Hitler, so I'm going to get back to that. So let me give you this 3-step plan of metaphorically being Adolf Hitler on Twitter. The first thing you do, gotta buy an armband. If I don't go out and purchase a red armband with a swastika on it and start wearing it every day, then I have failed in my motivation. Because doing such a thing would make me a polarizing lightning rod figure. You see in the news today, these people who say stupid things, or say things they don't mean, there it is again, and they are described as lightning rods, as controversial figures. You know, people like to watch them, people listen to them. You have some guy who makes anime analysis videos for a living go out and say that it's cool to say the N-word, and that it's okay to jack off to 13-year-old anime girls, and suddenly, everyone's giving him money. Like he's got it figured out. But then, stage 2 comes into effect. Now that we've got our armband, now that everybody is listening to us and acknowledging that we exist, we start with our message. That we should just kill or block, preferably kill, anybody who thinks irony is even remotely funny. But here's the thing. It's destructive to humor as a whole. If you think that putting an XD at the end of your post that you find funny is reductive, then just listen to these guys. They'll say things that are just completely on the opposite end of what they actually believe. Have you ever seen, it's a pretty common phenomenon that these guys will retweet Donald Trump, even though they have no support of his policies whatsoever. They'll go onto his Twitter, they'll find a tweet that says stocks are up, that's great. And they'll retweet it and go haha, look at this buffoon. When in reality, he's just speaking facts. Stocks are up. What's to make fun of there? President Trump is just expressing his contentment that the stocks are up in the United States of America. That should be good. That's good for us. Because whenever the rich have money, the little guy does well. Okay? See, whenever all the money is with the rich people, the poor people get the money, right? Because it's with the rich people. You see where I'm coming from here? So then we have to take our rich knowledge in step 3. I like to call this trickle-down knowledge economics. We, as the intelligent Adolf Hitlers of Twitter, have to take our knowledge and trickle it down to the denizens of the planet that don't understand left from right, up from down, and good from bad. Okay? This bagel here. This is an incredibly tasty bagel. If I were to give this to an irony bro, they'd do this. Oh, XG, having a normal one eating this Twitter bagel, it sucks. That's not true. It's a good bagel. It's got butter on it, it's got sesame seeds on it, it's been toasted. It's a bomb-ass bagel, but they won't tell you that. What happens when they're in the ER? Or not in the ER, they're in the pregnancy ward and their wife is giving birth, if they can even have wives. And their baby comes out, what do? Do they I'm gonna retweet this? This is not funny? My baby's a twat? He's an idiot? You gonna call it a faggot or something? I don't know. That's another thing they do. They just say slurs because they think they can. They don't even care about the significance of the language that they're using. They just think it's funny. It's insulting. As a bisexual male, whenever I hear an irony bro say faggot, and they're not gay, they're not bi, they're not demisexual, they're not asexual, not any of that, it boils my blood to the extreme. And I imagine that it boils the blood of other gays to the extreme too. Because you know what? Language has power. You need to be clear with your language. Because if you put out a thread on Twitter talking about certain things that people shouldn't be idealizing or perpetuating, you are just feeding into the narrative that people on Twitter are morons, millennials are morons, and it will never get anything done, and that our only hope is a mass genocide. Which it is. A mass genocide of irony Twitter. That is what it means to metaphorically be Adolf Hitler. Thank you.